Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm a parishioner here at Our Lady of Fatima Church in Kingston, Ontario. Father Manuel has asked me to talk to you today in English so that our non-Portuguese speaking community understands why we are currently live streaming from the Chapel of the Lord of Miracles. The reason why we have direct transmission focusing on the image of Senhor São Cristo dos Milagres, or Lord Holy Christ of Miracles, has to do with the love that the Portuguese immigrants have for the Holy Lord Christ of Miracles. Where did this image come from? The story of the image comes from the Azores. This was due to a group of girls who wanted to dedicate themselves to the religious life and did not intend to leave the island of St. Michael. They decided to send two representatives in secret to Rome and ask the Pope for authorization to form a religious community. Moved by his courage, Pope Clement gave them permission to found the Barefoot Poor Community and offer them a very old and beautiful image that existed in the Vatican Museum. What you currently just heard was the anthem for the Lord Holy Christ of Miracles that's dedicated to him. So where did it come from? With the fall of the Byzantine Empire that was in the eastern part of the Roman Empire and that lasted throughout the Middle Ages until the Renaissance. This empire focused on the Eastern Mediterranean. The image of the Lord Holy Christ of Miracles in St. Michael, Azores, is a link from the east and the west. His arms embrace the east and the origin of the west, projecting the future through the new land, which is North America. The devotion of the Azorean people has served as a bridge between the East, Europe, and landing in the middle of the Atlantic, and jumping to the real new land. Thank you to all the Azorean immigrants and their descendants. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the image. It's an image that's carved of wood in the form of a shrine by really an unknown author. The author represented with great artistic sense the contrast between the violence inflicted on the body of Christ and the serenity in his faith. What events happened to occur involving the Lord, Holy Christ of Miracles? Well, tradition tells us that in the fall of 1713, during a great earthquake on the island of St. Michael, a group of nuns took to the streets in procession with the image of Jesus. They passed between debris and corpse until a stronger tremor caused the image of Christ to fall to the ground. The image or statue stood up without breaking or even getting dirty. At the moment, the earth stopped shaking. The sea softened, and the sky was discovered, and thus creating the great devotion of the Lord, Holy Christ of Miracles. There are several places within Ontario and Quebec and across Canada that currently celebrate the Holy Christ of Miracles. Some of these places include Santa Cruz Parish in Montreal, Quebec, Sieux Saint Christ Parish in Ottawa, of course Our Lady of Fatima Parish here in Kingston, the Santa Maria Parish in Toronto, Our Lady of Fatima Parish in Brampton, and Our Lady of Fatima Parish in Cambridge. We invite you to spend some time praying to the Holy Lord of Miracles. It's live stream 24 hours a day. We also spend time celebrating Mass on a daily basis, both in the morning, and there is a rosary that's prayed in the evening. On Sundays, we celebrate Mass at 10:30, and on Saturdays, we celebrate Mass at 5:30. If you have any questions, feel free to please contact our parish. We'd be happy to share more information. God bless.